The sole work of La Loba is the collecting of bones. She collects and preserves especially that which is in danger of being lost to the world. Her cave is filled with all manner of desert creatures, the deer, the rattlesnake, the crow. But her speciality is wolves. She creeps and crawls and sifts through the mountains and the dry riverbeds, looking for wolf bones, and when she has assembled an entire skeleton, when the last bone is in place and the beautiful white skeleton of the creature is laid out before her, she sits by the fire and she thinks about what song she will sing. And when she is sure, she stands over the creature, raises her arms over it and sings out. That is when the rib bones and the leg bones of the wolf begin to flesh out, and the creature becomes furred. La Loba sings some more, and more of the creature comes into being. Its tail curls upwards, shaggy and strong. And La Loba sings more, and the creature begins to breathe. And still La Loba sings so deeply that the floor of the desert shakes, and as she sings the wolf opens its eyes, leaps up, and runs away down the canyon. And somewhere in its running, whether by the speed of its running or by splashing its way into a river, or by way of a ray of sunlight or moonlight hitting it right in the side, the wolf is suddenly transformed into a laughing woman who runs free toward the horizon. Around the year 1700, the last wolf in Sutherland was killed by a hunter of supposedly great esteem called Paulson. An account of the event was published in William Scrope's 1838 book, The Art of Deer Stalking. In 1924, the 7th Duke of Portland, one William Cavendish Bentinck, erected a stone in Paulson's honour to mark the place where he finished the last wolf in these lands. Allegedly, Paulson was an old hunter with much experience in tracking and killing wolves and predatory animals. The den was unguarded when they found it, so he sent 2 young lads down into the wolf's lair to destroy her cubs. The sound of their screams brought their mother racing back. As she tried to dive down into the cavern to protect her young, Paulson threw himself on the maddened brute and caught a hold of her tail. She strove with all her might to get down to the rescue of her cubs, and Paulson was just able, with all the exertion of his strength, to keep her from going forward. The man reached for his hunting knife and stabbed the wolf in the most vital parts he could reach. The enraged animal attempted to twist around to face her foe, but the space was too narrow, and Paulson repeated his stabs as rapidly as he could until the animal was easily dragged out and finished. I wonder if that is how it went. Maybe she wasn't the last wolf. Maybe the last wolf died of disillusionment and a broken heart. The story has persisted for 3 centuries, a boastful story full of bravado that glorifies the prowess of the hunter. And this is the legacy of Sutherland's last wolf. This is how we mark the demise of an entire ecosystem. This wolf deserves a retelling. I went looking for this stone of bravado and undeserved acclaim. My thought was to offer an alternative version of events, a memorial to the last wolf in Sutherland, a lament, a protest, a hope for the future. The loss of wolves in Scotland began a crippling ecological decline. Deer numbers exploded. They grazed the seedlings and the saplings down to nothing, depleted the soil through erosion and increased nitrogen, and dramatically impacted the species of plants that could grow in the highlands. When wolves had roamed the land, they had kept the deer on the move, allowing the vegetation to regenerate. Trees grew tall, a huge range of them, providing habitats for songbirds, allowing beaver colonies to expand on riverbanks, which in turn created niches for otters, muskrats, fish, frogs, and reptiles. The tree roots stabilized the riverbanks, reducing erosion and movement of channels, and creating a wonderful diversity of species in the pools and riffles. This is what we mourn. the wolfless generations.
Without wanting to delve into male ego or anything, I think there's a lack of purpose among my peers. That, again, it's my own little world, my own little bubble that I can only reflect on. But it feels like that sense of purpose is lacking later in life, so sort of after 40. It seems like within my own group of friends, and I see it within my family as well, is their role of caretaker or father or partner, has led them so far, and now that it's been well established, where are they now in life? What's their function?
I had read about an extraordinary Yellowstone wolf named Number 14. When her wolf mate and teacher, Old Blue, died, she left her cubs and vanished into the deep snow of the North American wilderness. She was gone for a week, and no one was able to find her, not even the Yellowstone rangers who tracked her. The experts wonder, did she travel alone so far because she was grieving? Number 14 died at the age of 6. National Park staff observed that she was attended in death by a golden eagle and a grizzly bear. She was perhaps mourned by her own kind in the purest way possible, honoured by nature's recycling system, left to lay where she fell. Memorials are not for wolves like Number 14, for who there can be no truer epitaphs or eulogy. Nature marked her passing in a way that honoured her astounding life.
I've been thinking about this quite a lot, and if anything, I would amongst my friends would have a sort of call to arms and saying, listen guys, stop looking inside and start looking outside and see what a beautiful planet we still have, but it's time to make a change. And then back to anything goes. Change your behavior, change your patterns, change your life, because we're losing. And I'm pointing outside because it's a stunning day, and you can see from here the lichen on the trees and the little bit of snow on the hills still, and it's just walking around here is breathtaking, and solidifies and grounds you. And I want to share that, and I want more people, not just men, to experience that. If anything, I want all school kids and all students all over the world to say, we're out. Unless you fix this, we're not coming back. Just imagine what would happen and extrapolate. What if we all would say, no more? Because it is that time. How long do you need to debate things? We've done that since the 60s. And this is where we are. And then relating back to historically, if men can get their act together and get their head straight, they can do phenomenal things. And we've done horrible things, and it's time to change that, right? And because if you like it or not, it's still the man's world, and I certainly don't like that, but it is what it is, and. Rage can also lead to good things. And I'm just very, very angry where we are and disappointed. And we all need to act up, because otherwise we're just going to lose it. And it's horrible to see amongst, not just my group of friends, but the despair sometimes about, what can I do as an individual? And you see that all everywhere. Surely others must see that and recognize that and feel that as well. It's too big of a problem to solve. But I don't think it is. I don't believe it is. I think we can, if there's one reason for us all to unify, it's this. Saving our own planet. Because otherwise, sculpting, culture, art, music, heaven forbid to lose music, but it will be gone. Social standards, the difference between the Western world and developing countries, everything, religion, it's all coming to an end if we don't fix this. And I refuse to be part of a downfall. My ego is too big to say, "Oh, we'll just let it happen." No, I can't accept. I can't personally, internally, I won't accept defeat. And I refuse to believe that that's the way we're heading, despite everything. Because if you apply rationale, just look at it. It's just overwhelming. Every day I read the reports, from conservation, big business, and you don't need to be overeducated to realize what an immense project this will be. And we're not improving. There's amazing people and amazing projects around the world, but as a whole, it's still not getting better. So it comes down to us, not politicians, not big corporate. If we want to change this, we need to get organized as much as they are. It's just time. The time really is now. And I hope everyone agrees. So give it a name, rewilding. I don't know, just anything. But let's stop talking. Start doing. And that's where you find guys who can do. Point them in the right direction and they'll do. That's what I want to say.